And we are live. Welcome to the very first episode of the Sausage Fest podcast.
Hold on.
What?
We can't do this without actually talking about what happened. This ain't the first episode.
Okay, wait. I was gonna get there. Let me finish the introduction. Let us introduce ourselves. My name is Ben, aka That Boy Mental. I also have my co-host with me, Jordan, aka Chaos, and we got Austin, aka Studman.
Yes, sir.
And what they were referring to was the fact that I royally messed up.
You messed it up.
Big time. Terrible.
We recorded this, a couple of days ago, and I'm just gonna blame Microsoft for updating my computer and messing with my audio settings.
That's the buck, because you suck.
And yeah, we'll do that. Either way, I take fault. We did an hour and a half recording that didn't end up going up. So we might retell some old stories, but I wanted to do one more quick thing and let everyone know this is a mature podcast. It's going to be PG-13/rated R, depending on where we go with things. So
let you guys know halfway through.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. But I'm telling you right now, we're like 2 minutes in. I'm telling you right now, if you are easily offended and or under the age of like 18, you should probably find a different podcast to enjoy.
Jordan likes people under the age of 18.
I'm sure there are plenty of other podcasts for you guys to listen to. It just isn't it for ours. But with that being said, I do want to go on to our very first topic, because the day we are recording this, it is October 2nd. I want to know what Halloween stories we all have to share. I know I got at least two. Because for those who don't know, I used to work at the haunted house here in our little town, but it's apparently one of the best the haunted houses in, I think, America. And maybe if not,
he was one of the only actors who didn't use makeup just because he looks that ugly and disturbing.
You know what? That's actually pretty close, but we'll keep going. We'll get on to that later.
Wow.
Do you
They're
guys?
Like, damn, you're ugly enough as is. Just get down that hall.
When they say boo, no one's gonna want to see that.
Do you guys want to start, or do you want me to start? Because I got at least two.
I don't really got nothing for Halloween stories.
Yeah,
and
you
I got
anything that's gonna top yours.
You guys never did anything crazy or stupid during Halloween?
Not really.
No. Okay. Well, I guess I'll start off with my.
That's a good kid.
Good. No.
Yeah, right.
The only reason I have mine is because I had to work at the haunted house. It was volunteer work, quote unquote, but I signed up for like probably 50 days worth of volunteer work. I think I only worked like 2. Because
not bad.
It was. I hated it. I absolutely hate being scared. But fall is my favorite season, so Halloween kind of comes with the territory. Anyway, so we'll start off with the first story. My very first night working the haunted house, they dressed me up as a clown. And they made me put on the face paint and all this other good stuff, and I had the hat and the stupid clown costume.
Don't say stupid.
Well, it was
offensive.
I'm sorry to all the clowns listening.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Anyway,
high percentage of our audience.
They ended up sticking me in a little corner where it exits from one part of the haunted house into the other, and they basically just said, "Do your best to scare or frighten whoever comes around the corner to like go into the next part of the haunted house." I was like, "All right, cool. I'll try this out." So I'm standing there for, a couple minutes. First couple people come by. I do my best to scare them. Nobody flinches. Not a single person.
You're like 5'2", so no one's ever like, what is that?
Well,
Should have dressed you up as a gremlin instead.
Yeah, Chucky.
Well, I realized pretty quickly what my problem was. I was literally just straight up screaming at people, like, as loud as I could. Nobody... Pretty much. Nobody got intimidated by that. So what I went with, not scary, I decided to change my tactics. I went with creepy. So I made my voice really, really high-pitched and scratchy.
Hey, little girl.
Not not exactly like that. But I went really high-pitched and scratchy, and I did this weird maniacal laugh, dude. It was... I'll just say by the end of the night, I lost my voice. I went to school the next day without my voice, and it ended up being something along the lines of like, how do I describe it? It was just super high pitched and scratchy. It was gross. It was not good. But eventually, it got to the point where I couldn't actually talk. I could only laugh. I could force my laugh to get that high. And it got to the point where it was, 3/4 of the way through the night. I was on my last leg, basically. And I had a group of like 4 guys come around the corner. And I tried doing my creepy maniacal laugh.
Oh, you got punched in the
And
face.
almost. I almost got punched quite a few times. But they ended up just laughing and called the group of guys that was behind them. I guess they were friends with them. They're like, "Hey, come check this clown out. He's funny." I'm like, "Great. I'm at a haunted house and I'm known as being funny."
You're still getting crapped on by the bullies. I love it.
So I can hear them coming down this hallway, and as they're walking down this hallway, they yell, "What's up, Chuckles?" And I officially got the nickname from all my coworkers, Chuckles. I was Chuckles the Clown because I had a
Your name is that on in my phone.
Yeah, it's great.
When did you do this?
I was
Last year.
no, I've been out of high school for 3 years now, or 2 years, something like that.
Yeah.
No, I think it was
mean,
my sophomore year. So I was like
Huh?
16,
Bro,
17.
how ironic would it be if it was us when we went through it on Niles Haunted House?
That would be hilarious.
That's the one I was at. I mean, maybe it
Back
might have
then
been.
we were-
I don't know.
You're picking on him back then. Didn't even know.
I just remember someone running down the hallway yelling, "Come here, Chuckles!" And I'm like, "Oh,
Me,
great,
I'm
I got a
friends with
name."
the infamous Chuckles.
Yes,
Clown. That's
you
great.
are. I know.
That's hilarious.
I did manage to actually scare one person actually bad as Chuckles. I guess I was holding so still when she rounded the corner that she thought I was like a painting because it was really dark. You couldn't really see much. But she kept trying to like jump in my face, like make me move, and I just stood there. And she eventually started walking away, and I reached out and grabbed her arm and screamed, and she fell onto the ground and pissed herself.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Oh
I
my-
at least got one person. The only
How
problem,
old was she?
she was 19, 20.
What?
She was slightly older than me at the time, but not super old.
Was she by herself?
No, she had one other person there with her that equally screamed as loud as her, but she didn't end up falling. She just kind of like
Or
helped
urinating?
her fall. Yeah, she wasn't urinating either. At least not from what I could tell. But the only thing that sucked was that we had a policy of like if someone fell, we have to like stop what we're doing and make sure they're actually okay. So I couldn't continue like anything that I was doing. I actually had to stop and be like, "Hey, seriously, are you okay? Like we can't have anyone get hurt." But
It was like, oh, I stepped in piss.
Slips
no,
on it.
I wanted to keep scaring her and like chase her out of there, but I literally wasn't allowed to because she
You had
fell.
to put
I had
a wet floor sign down in the haunted house.
I mean, it was a dirt floor. I don't think anything came. I mean, she
I grew grass there.
Fucking slipped in mud.
pretty much. I mean, I like I said, I just made sure she was okay, and she left, and that was that. I mean,
Hilarious.
I kept hearing her scream like every other, house or attraction down.
I never had to use
So-
the bathroom.
You never had to use the bathroom while you
No,
were there?
she probably never had to use the
Oh,
bathroom when she
yeah,
was
no,
there.
you're probably right. I probably scared it out of her.
Yeah, she probably used it in every attraction.
Yeah, she kept yelling, "I thought you were a poster, or I thought you were a painting, or something like that." So, I guess I did a good job. That's all.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah, that's my natural beauty.
Yeah, I don't.
Uh,
I mean, I don't really have any funny things necessarily. I mean, like when I
You
was
get-
younger, I was driving or riding my. But why is it called riding a bike if you're technically driving it? Right?
I don't.
Or is that only motorized anyway? I was
I,
riding my bike, and I was probably like 8 or 9, and I passed a house that was always like ominous and creepy in my neighborhood. It was just brown, but
Yeah.
it had a bunch of. It was the only house in the neighborhood that had a lot of trees around it. So as I was driving, I never saw any of those people. They never saw their car on the driveway. Never saw anything. So it was always weird to me. So and I drove my bike, and it was close to Halloween. It was probably like a week or so before, and so a few people had their decorations up, but this place didn't really have any right? So they had their uh, door open. It was just a
See-through door.
protection door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was like a screen door.
right. And as I'm driving by, I look over and I just see two green eyes. That's all I see is just two green eyes about the size of like a small kid, just staring at me from the darkness. And it's like the middle of the day, so I'm like, why can I not see into this house? So I drive by and I'm terrified as a kid. I'm looking, I'm like, what is that? I was like, it's got to be a decoration. So I thought it was a decoration, right? So then I drove past on my way back like 10 minutes later, and I saw that it like moved just a little bit though, but it moved like a foot to the right side of the door. And I looked at it and it's just staring at me, and I'm like, that is terrifying. Never found out what it was. I remember telling my sister that it was haunted, must have been a demon or something staring at me from inside. I found out like 3 or 4 years later that they just had a small dog, and that's all it was. It was just a small dog, and I was like, oh. I guess terrifying.
I have one more haunted house story, and it was about another nickname I got. I was told I looked like Harry Potter.
What?
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah. So
You're a wizard, Chuckles.
so at the time I had really really grown out long hair, and when my hair grows really long it tends to curl a lot. So it covered most of my forehead down to like the bottom of my nose, but it curled back up. The main attraction I was using at the time ended up breaking, so I wasn't able to keep using it. They had to move me. And I was already like 3/4 of the way through the night, so I was almost, done. So they basically just gave me a black gown and painted my face a little black and said, okay, you're going to hide in the shadows right next to this lever. And when people come across this bridge that's in front of me, just press the button so the bridge shakes and people get scared and they run off.
Ooh.
Well, it worked. A lot of people were scared and freaked out. And between that and the chuckling I did at the end of the bridge, it worked. I scared a lot of people. But as the night ended up finishing up, I had like one last couple come by. And when they got to the end of the bridge, they saw me standing there. Most people can't see me where I'm standing because they have lights shining in their eyes. That's like the main thing that like deters them from wanting to cross the bridge. Between that and the chuckling on the other side and the bridge shaking, it just scares them. But they ended up seeing me. And at the time, I had my hood down that I was supposed to be wearing because it was hot. It was like a really hot, October day. Or night, I guess. But they ended up seeing me, and they saw my really long, messed up hair because I was sweaty. And between that and my glasses, they just looked at me in the cloak, and they're like, geez, you scared the hell out of me, Harry Potter. And they walked away.
Damn.
I for some reason thought that was the funniest thing ever, and I sat there laughing for like 5 minutes, and they watched me laugh, even though I definitely was not supposed to be breaking character.
Just like,
yeah.
Okay, then.
I lost my mind. I don't know if it's because they knew how. I just really loved Harry Potter, so I don't know. I just lost my mind, but yeah, they luckily ended up just taking a picture with me and leaving. It wasn't anything huge. I guess they made their night. That's all I know.
Interesting.
Still did something, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it was better than my initial reaction, I guess, which was shock and confusion. I really wish that first attraction thing that didn't break on me. It was a giant, like, dragon that came out of the wall you just pushed. And when you pushed it out, it lit up and made a giant, like, T-Rex sound, and it was pretty cool,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna lie, I think I pushed on it too hard and like broke it.
Nice.
Cause
Almost pushed
Good
it
job.
through the wall onto people.
well, it had handlebars at the end of it that I was
Just
supposed
swallow
to.
them whole.
Right, I was supposed to stand back there and grab the handlebars and just push as hard as I could and like run it out at people. And I think I might have ran a little too hard. I think I might have broke something.
Hey, calm down, Harry Potter. You're taking it too far.
Yeah.
Hagrid doesn't know his own strength.
Man, I was a weak little kid back then. I don't know.
Yeah, you saying you got stronger?
Well, yeah, that's kind of what happens as you grow and,
Oh.
get
Sometimes.
older and more mature and,
Oh, more
You know,
mature. That's a
More
stretch,
mature,
but
yeah, that's
More
a stretch
mature.
for all of us.
well, yeah, that's true. None of us here are mature.
We are the furthest thing from it.
And we have our moments. I mean, you have a kid, you have to be mature for the kid, right?
What?
Yeah, no,
No?
that's not how that works at all. Not
No?
What happened?
Nope.
I was
I just,
saying,
like-
Responsible, yes. Mature,
I
no.
just like karate chop my headphone mic. Just like,
you've done that a lot lately. You
Yeah.
good?
no.
You watching too much Cobra Kai or something?
Yes.
Cool. All right.
Absolutely.
Spiders!
Yeah. All right.
Spiders.
Segue into something else.
Yeah.
Any other topics?
You got anything else? I just wanted to talk
No.
about, at least a little bit of Halloween stuff. I thought you guys would have more stuff.
I mean, Halloween-wise, I don't really have much. I mean, if we're just in the concept of scary things, I mean, how often when you guys were young, would you wake up in the middle of the night and like see a pile of clothes or something sitting on a chair and freak the fuck out like it was the boogeyman standing in your room? Did you guys ever do that at all?
Absolutely.
Dude, all the
Not
fucking time.
necessarily.
Dude, all the fucking time. I did it probably all the way up until the point of high school.
I didn't do it like that, but
Dude, I promise, I was scared shitless of like a pile of clothes on a fucking chair.
I had a lot of nightmares that kept me up all night. Like once
Really?
I woke
Yeah, I don't
up,
get
I could
nightmares.
never fall asleep. I used to read a lot of really scary. Back then it was really scary books, like the Goosebump books and Stephen King and stuff like that. And every now and then I'd have a dream about whatever the book was about, and it would scare me half to death, and I just couldn't fall back asleep.
Goosebumps slap.
They do, yeah. I actually stole a Goosebumps book from my third grade
Wow.
teacher.
So now you're
Yeah.
admitting.
So now you're a
I'm,
thief.
I'm admitting to it. Yeah, if she doesn't know by now, I mean, sorry. I don't.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Sorry.
You're a
Hopefully you don't see
Lovely
this.
role model.
I don't have the book anymore.
I sold it.
I sold it on eBay for $5.
$5. I think you'd be lucky if you can sell a Goosebumps
I gave it
book
to
for
another
$5.
library. Just to cause chaos.
It wasn't even a library book. I think it was one of her personal books I stole.
Oh, okay. So now you're
So-
real interested.
So I remember it was you remember in like third or fourth grade and like when you were little they had like the good like system the good it was like a point system for how good your behavior was. One of the rewards was that you could rent out a book for like a week or something like that.
Ooh, so I behave and I can rent a book for a week?
The,
Huckleberry Finn?
dude, I was a nerd.
Weird.
I mean, I still am a nerd, but like I was a really big nerd back then. And
So what he's saying is there were probably other things like candy and stuff, but he took the book because he's a fucking flaming homosexual.
Right.
I honestly don't remember what else was there. I know the only other thing that was there was
You
that
said Kit Kat or Moby Dick. I don't know, man. That's a close call.
I know the
I'm
only,
taking the dick.
I know the only other thing that was, or the only thing I remember that was on there was that you could do instead of going out to recess, you could stay inside with a friend and watch a movie.
What?
You could pick like a movie
Oh.
to watch, and
That's kind of cool.
I think I did that.
So they started
once or
Netflix
twice.
and chill for you guys early.
Basically.
Whoa.
Yes, exactly, Jordan. How'd you know I was all up with the girls then?
Whoa.
And no, you were sleeping with men in the classroom.
Whoa.
Only a couple of them. The other ones didn't.
Oh,
know.
Oh, wow.
Anyway.
Why would you admit to that?
Well, they're not gonna know. Hell, I don't even-
I'm gonna see myself
the
out
the
of
guys
this
that
one.
slept with you will.
Why did I?
Well, the guys that
Say I was
slept with me
surprised.
don't talk to me anymore. so-
Why are we still going on this one?
I don't know. Anyway, I ended up redeeming one of the points I had to rent that Goosebump books for like a week, and she either forgot about it or I forgot about it, but I kept it. It's if I don't have it at my house now, it might actually be at my dad's house. It's either there or I sold it in like a garage sale or something.
So theft and sleeping with men. That's what your school experience was like.
Yeah, that's exactly
Nice.
what my school
Nice.
experience was
That's
like.
good. Setting you up for.
I wonder how many people
Um,
actually think I'm gay now. How many new listeners are like, yeah, well, this guy's actually a homo.
He's
All them clowns were
flaming
appealing to him.
homosexual. Yeah,
Yeah.
the clown.
Chuckles the flaming homosexual.
Chuckles IRL.
He
Loves
said, "You don't
men.
gotta honk my hose to turn me on."
Oh,
What?
jeez.
He's like, I'll wear my red nose in bed
Yeah.
for you guys. Anyway, let's
All right.
I think that was the one bright side. I didn't actually have a red nose.
uh,
I think they just painted over it, thank God. My nose is big enough as it is.
Said I got a dick nose as is.
Yeah, there's no...
like
need to
Squidward
help that one.
tentacles.
Anyway. What,
For all
what,
the
real
what were
YouTubers
you-
out there, buddy.
what were you originally talking about now? I don't...
Piles of clothes in the middle of the night when you were younger.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna go over, do you guys still have any, like, reoccurring nightmares? Because I have a couple.
I hardly even have dreams, buddy.
Really?
Don't really get nightmares.
Dude, I still have, like, the same nightmare at least, like, once a month. And it was from, like, it started, like, when I was,
So your parents
you know,
found out
8.
you're homosexual?
Yeah, that's exactly it. When I came
Yeah,
out of the
you might
closet and they
want-
just...
Happens. Yeah.
Yeah,
You might
that's what it
want
was.
to see a psychologist, bud.
You know, I probably should. Psychologist and a therapist. Anyway, I'll tell you guys the
What's the
nightmare because
difference
it's
between
weird.
psychologist and psychiatrist?
Or I don't think there is. I think it's just.
It's
Isn't it
more
man-
or less the same thing.
Oh, I thought it was just different gender roles. Like
That's what I thought it was too.
like one's a man and one's a female.
Mhm.
I meant to say therapist, but it came out with something else.
I don't know.
Anyway, so I'll tell you guys the one nightmare that I have all the time, still to this day. So I always remember it being the end of the day. I'm getting ready for bed. I go to take a shower, and as I'm undressing, I see the toilet lid open up by itself,
All right.
and that immediately creeps me out. So I'm like, okay, that's weird, whatever. And I'm still getting undressed. I'm getting ready to get in the shower, and I see this eyeball float up out of the toilet.
What?
And
You still get this? You said?
I still get this nightmare to
And
this
it
day.
Still scares you?
And you know what the best part is? Every time it starts, I know, oh, fuck, okay, this is what's gonna happen. And it still scares the fuck out of me every single time.
Weird.
I wake up in like a dead sweat every single time. But this eyeball floats out of the toilet, and it's like, has this like, it has like a telekinetic power, or like a psychic power.
Oh,
And it picks me up. It picks me and my clothes up and just floats me out of the house. And I'm sitting there screaming for my mom and my brother or whoever else to come save me. And they'll stand in the bathroom, watch me float away. And they
You're
won't
making
do
me
a single
question
thing.
My friendship with you now.
What
Yep.
the actual fuck?
It started when I was young. It still hasn't gone away yet. I don't know.
Can you lose my number?
I don't think I have your number, Austin.
Good.
I think I just have your snap.
In that case, I'm disappearing forever. Goodbye.
Yeah, I'm
I'll
deleting.
I'll see you at
Snap.
work next week, Jordan. Don't say that.
Oh, whoa, that sucks.
Yeah,
Nope.
well,
Bye.
Jordan's getting a new job.
That's
Yep.
weird.
Right now.
Yeah,
See,
I don't
you think-
blame him.
So I'm super obsessed with like, I mean, I guess you could say supernatural stuff, but like mysteries, conspiracy theories, all those types of weird, unexplainable things. I love that stuff. I listen to like 10 different podcasts a day. I'm watching different YouTubers and YouTube videos on it, and I don't experience any of that stuff. I will say, I don't know you. I call it heightened senses, but you could call it being on edge. When I leave early in the morning, my apartment's all dead. It's pitch black outside. I literally have an ominous light that goes zzz and flashes and flickers over by the parking garage right where I park. It's a little terrifying in the morning. I am afraid that I'm going to see a figure not there and then all of a sudden appear underneath the light. But other than that, I don't get nightmares. I just am
I have
saying,
irrational
would say
fears
I'm
like that
more
too.
on edge, but
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's necessarily an irrational fear because like I maybe I don't know if it's like something people experience, but like if I'm with people, my fear and everything it's just zero. Like if I'm with one person, doesn't matter who it is, one person, I have no fears whatsoever. But if I'm by myself, then I'm like, fuck.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
like, my friends aren't gonna see me box the boogeyman, bro. This is kind of disappointing, you know, something like that.
Someone get this and put this on
Yeah,
World Star.
please, please.
So I'm just curious now. Have you guys ever done any like readings or like anything into like the?
Jordan doesn't know how to read.
That's true. That
Don't
is
be mean to
very
him.
true. Okay,
He's
have
so
you guys
pricey, my
ever
Rosetta Stone.
learned or wanted to learn about like supernatural things, or like in my case, I really am fascinated by like dreams and how they work?
That's
Yeah,
not supernatural.
Well,
and that's
no,
not
not
really
exactly.
supernatural at all.
You're right. That's what I'm into. I like learning about dreams and like dreamscapes and stuff like that. None of you guys are.
Mm-mm.
Not
Conspiracy
really.
theories. I guess I read on those.
So, so have you? Okay, I know this is a little different, and we'll get to your thing, Austin.
Thanks.
Have you
Ignore
guys
me.
ever had a dream that you can control? I don't remember what it's called.
That's a lucid dream, bub.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. Have you guys ever had one of those before?
Juice World?
I have. Calm down.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
But
Yo.
but seriously, have you guys ever had a lucid dream before? I've only had two.
I have one time.
Do you remember what you did?
I don't remember what I did.
I think I had one, and I was in high school. I don't know if I was currently in high school or if I was just out of high school when it happened. But I remember having a high school one that I kind of controlled.
Kind of control.
What?
Did it ever
Kind of
click?
controlled.
Did it ever click in your mind like, oh, this is a dream. I know what I can do.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess
Okay.
I did. Yeah, I was basically in school, and then it was one of those things where, like, I think it was just like something, it was like reliving an experience I had in school that basically I was able to control and morph into the outcome I wish would have happened or I wanted to happen, you know?
Okay. Okay.
Something along those lines. And I don't think it was a big deal. It was something like, this probably isn't exactly what it was, but like somebody said something to me, and instead of me being quiet like I was in real life, you know, I said something or I stood up and did something instead, and then it kind of changed the whole outcome of the dream.
Okay.
And then I realized, like, after I got out of that scenario, I was like, this isn't real. This is a dream, you know? And then I kind of just, like, I don't remember what happened. Dreams are weird because you don't remember everything that usually happens. It's just sporadic things that happen throughout, and then you just randomly wake up.
So I remember the very first lucid dream I had. I didn't know it was a lucid dream until the dream was like almost over. I mean, by the time it actually clicked in my head, I was awake. I'm like, fuck, this sucks. It's like
People are
I
going to think this is an educational podcast.
yeah
no
yeah
kidding.
yeah,
Like,
that's exact-
yo, they know
yeah.
everything about sleep.
Yeah, no,
No.
not at all.
Jordan
I,
gets like 3 hours a night. Like, he doesn't know anything about sleep.
if that, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I juice up on a couple cans of Red Bull and some
Yeah.
G Fuel, and I'm good to go for the day.
Not a sponsor. That'd be awesome.
no, you know, hit us up though. You know,
That'd
we're
be-
down.
that'd be awesome.
Anyway, I just remember the end of I remember having the whole dream, and then the last like a couple, I want to say seconds. I don't know exactly how long it was, but I remember it clicking. I'm like, wait, this is a dream. Oh, cool! I can control my dream, can't I? Well, what if I do? And then I woke up.
You know how irritating it is to be having a good dream and you wake up?
Very,
Like,
very
oh,
irritating.
Go back, go back.
Yeah.
That shit pissed you off, or you remember what happened in a dream, and you go back and try and finish like
Yeah,
later in a
yup.
different
Oh, yeah.
day, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're like, come on,
Yes.
that was awesome. I was
So,
about to...
so the second lucid dream I had, I actually realized as soon as I fell asleep, I was in a dream, and I got to control the entire thing all the way through. And it's so dumb, but I remember it was basically like a giant plain like field. It was like a grass field.
They're going to say plain. I was
And-
like, where's this going?
It was like a plain grass field, right?
9/11.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I dreamt about 9/11.
I wish I was the pilot.
Oh,
And
oh, oh, well, you can only be a pilot once in those cases. Anyway,
Oh my.
anyway,
who?
I remembered it was a plain grass field, and I remembered I had this super nice ass sports car that I was just whipping around in the field having fun with, and then I remembered, oh, it sounds stupid. I remember there was a model that I was flirting with that
Oh my
and
gosh.
I ended up doing good
You
with.
have generic.
Yes, very
boring
very generic,
dreams.
boring dreams. You're right. It was
Not even
Like,
somebody
there
from
was-
your
And-
school or something. It's just
There
like
was
fucking
nice
Minaj
car.
or something.
nice car and very very pretty women. That's what I remembered. And I
No wonder it
remember.
was a dream because you like men. That's I get it now. It all makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking then, but yeah,
Yeah.
I just remember flirting with this woman, and I don't remember how
You woke up next to
far
your
we
boyfriend.
got.
You're like, oh god.
He didn't get far enough into
I
the
don't-
dream to realize you had a dick.
Right. That's my ultimate fantasy is she-males. But
You tried going back into it the next night.
yeah, come on, wake up. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. But yeah, I just remember waking up after I got done like flirting or talking with her, and I was like, hell yeah, that was a good dream. And I went to school. Yeah.
How long have we been going? Too long?
Half hour.
We're talking about she-males.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, we've gone long enough, and we're talking about she-males. That's been a half hour, Austin. Calm down.
Okay.
Anyway,
Oh man. What else?
so
Any other?
I have one more dream question because I think this is a pretty common one everyone has, or at least during your high school years. How often do you have a dream about your day in high school, and then you wake up and have to like do it all over again?
What do you mean? Do it
Like-
all over again?
Like, have you ever had a dream where like you go through your normal day-to-day things, and you like get home and you're like quote unquote done for the day, and then you wake up?
You have to
And
go to
you're-
school? No.
No,
No, never.
really?
I've had.
I never really dreamt about school at all. If I'm being
I woke
honest.
up on Saturdays thinking it was like Friday, and then tried to get ready for school, and then ended up realizing halfway through that it wasn't a school day.
You guys are
Yeah.
making me feel like weirdos, or making
are
me feel like a weirdo. Like, you never had a dream that like you went to school for a day and then woke up and realized it wasn't an actual day.
Yeah, no.
I've had legit days where I've had legit dreams where it felt like an entire day has passed. And, like,
Ben
if I
to
went to
school, like, twice
yeah,
a day.
Yeah, it felt like I fell asleep on Tuesday, woke up and did a Wednesday's school stuff, and then when I woke up it was Thursday. When in reality it was just Wednesday. You know what I'm talking about?
No. I slept at
No.
school. I did that.
I never
I
was able
did-
to fall
I-
asleep in school.
I've only done that once.
I never have fallen asleep in school. Couldn't do
I
it.
intentionally did it in some places just because I really didn't care.
I couldn't. I literally would have to take in medicine.
What? Yeah, like what? ADHD medicine?
What I did, but that's not what caused me not to be able
Oh.
to fall asleep. I just don't know. I guess I just had weird sleeping conditions when I was younger.
Oh, yeah. No, I only fell asleep once, and it was in my biology class. And
It's just too loud.
my teacher found me sleeping, and I swear she had it out for me since then. I swear. It was my very first day in
Bitch.
school too. So like
wanna
you
talk
knew
about-
everyone was still messed up on their sleep schedule.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, man, I got two things I want to segue. Did your parents ever make you practice to go to school? Like when it was summertime, they're like, you have to get used to the sleep schedule, so you gotta
Yeah.
act like tomorrow's the school day, and then you go to bed like 3 hours earlier. For
They-
no
Oh
reason.
yeah.
Yeah,
Instead
they
of going to
s-
bed at like 11, you
Yeah.
went to bed at 7.
Yeah, you're like, what?
Yeah,
Why am I practicing, dude? Your body what is this?
Yeah, my mom still tries to make me do stuff like that for like work. Like when I started this new job, she tried getting me to switch it. But like, no, it's fine. I'll just get it on my own. Like I'm used to it.
Murdered my parents if they did that for work.
And she tried to for
Like,
this
you
new
need to
job
act
that
like
I had.
it's a school night. I'm like, it's the 4th of July. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, just
Or-
practice.
Or did your parents ever not let you mess up your sleep schedule? Like during like a holiday weekend or like a holiday week?
Yep.
They
No,
forced you still
I
to go to
was-
school or
I
to,
was
like do their
okay
school
there.
time?
Yep.
That
They're
part
like,
it didn't matter.
see, and then when they did let me actually start staying up, they were like, they'd like look down, they'd be like, you need to behave because it's 9:05 and you'd normally be in bed right now. I'm like,
Do you guys remember what your normal bedtimes were back in the day?
what grades? Because mine kind of fluctuated. Not
Yeah,
much,
mine
but a little bit.
fluctuated as well.
Okay, well, I'll be honest, mine never fluctuated. Mine was always 7:30.
Even in high school,
Up until like
Explains a
my
lot.
8th grade, 9th grade year, yeah.
that explains a lot.
Yeah. This is why I didn't have friends. I blame my mom.
Once I got into high school, I really didn't have much of a bedtime. I mean, basically my bedtime was be quiet so my parents could go to bed. But I was always up playing games till
Yeah.
it really felt like it was
Good night.
necessary. As long as I could stay quiet, I really didn't have to go to bed in high school. But in
I
like
mean,
middle school, it was like 8, 9 o'clock maybe, 8 probably. And then any earlier than that, it was like 6:30, 7 o'clock. Like, I mean, if I was outside at 5:30, they were like calling the police so they could come and round me inside the shower and go to bed.
what the fuck?
It was nuts, dude.
Yeah.
No,
They're
like
like,
elementary
it's-
school
oh.
was like 8 o'clock. In the middle school, it was kind of fluctuated a little bit through middle school. It's like 8 still for a little bit, and then it was like 9, and then it was like 10, and they're like, yeah, we don't give a fuck. Just make sure you get enough sleep for school.
Yeah, no, I was 7:30 up until like my middle school year, and then once I actually like started hanging out with people like after school and stuff like that, they were like, well, as long as you're home by like before 10, we don't really care.
Well, it's
So-
like even when I was in like high school, like junior, senior year, like I wouldn't have had to go to bed at like 10, 11 o'clock. But like all my friends were losers and went to bed at like 9:30. I'm like, hey, you want to play some like Fortnite or something? They're like, no, I'm gonna go to bed. I got a test tomorrow. I was like, bro, what do I hear about all these kids doing like ecstasy in the bathroom at 2 a.m. and you guys want to go to bed at 9? I go, what is going on?
You got the wrong friends, bro.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on? So then I'm like, oh, there's nothing to do, so I guess I'm going to bed at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, pretty much the only friend I had back in like middle school or not even middle school, it would be start of high school would be Dustin, a friend of all of ours, and yeah, we stayed up until 11 or 12 o'clock almost every night playing Rocket League, and that was our grind.
Depends on
Yeah.
that too.
When he left from here, bro, that was the most disappointing thing ever. I probably almost cried the day he left. I was pretty upset that he had left from here to go live with his dad, but I understood why at the same time. It was
Yeah, did I ever tell you the first story of him and I meeting?
no.
Uh, so all I knew at the time was that he was a new kid in school. Everybody fucking liked him.
He also liked men.
Uh, Every fucking girl I knew had a crush on him. And I was,
Never mind.
well, not in the early years of high school
No, he
when he had a
definitely
6-pack.
gained a lot of weight. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was pretty athletic and looked.
Yeah, freshman and like sophomore year, he had like a straight up 6-pack.
You both
and I
had
was like,
crushes on him.
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely,
Definitely.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just clarify.
yeah. I mean, I
Dustin,
don't know
if
how
you
you
ever listen to
couldn't.
this, I want to suck your dick.
You act like you can't tell him now. Like you don't.
Right.
have
I was
fuck-
to say you could literally just call him.
Right.
You know what, let me call him real quick.
Don't call him right now. But anyway, as soon as I saw him, I just looked at him. I was like, "He's a fucking douchebag." Like
Oh, he is.
just looking at him, I was like, "Yeah, he's
Still
gonna be
is.
he's gonna be a
Still is.
douchebag." I'm not gonna get along with this guy. And then some of my friends started hanging out with him, and they were like, "Yeah, he's a cool guy." And then some more of my friends were hanging out with him. I'm like, "Yeah, he's not really nice and cool. You should talk to him sometime." I'm like, "No, fuck that.
Shoot your shot.
Fuck that kid. He looks like a douchebag. I'm not gonna talk to him." And we end up riding the same bus every morning. And one of those mornings, I either decided, fuck it, I'll try to talk to him, or there's no other seats open. I guess I'm sitting next to him. But I ended up sitting down and not saying a word to him the entire ride.
Mhm.
We had like a 20-minute ride back to school, and I didn't say a word to him. But it slowly became an everyday thing, and we slowly started talking more and more each day, and now he's one of my closest friends. So shoot your shot, gentlemen.
Moral of the story.
Moral of the story.
Said, you like jazz?
I don't remember what our very first conversation was about. I know one of the earliest ones when I found out he was, retarded when it came to
Sexual.
English.
Oh.
Yeah. He looked at a it was sometime during it was like around the Christmas season, and he looked at like a Christmas ornament or something like outside while we were driving by with the bus, and he just looked at it and goes, "Directions." I just kind of looked at it and I was like, "Directions?" He goes, "Yeah," and points at it again, "Directions." What are you talking about, directions, Dustin? What is that? Directions. And I just looked at him.
Decorations? Is that what you're
Yeah,
trying to say?
I just looked at
Oh
him.
my
I was like, "Do you
gosh.
mean decorations?" He goes, "Oh, decorations."
Same thing, right?
Corrections.
I know he still remembers this because he brings it up every now and then. He'll just randomly be like, "Decorations." I swear to God, if you called him right now or texted him, he would remember it. But
I'm
that
just
was
gonna send him a message after this that says directions.
directions. And then hit him with the decorations.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
Mm.
I'll save some of the other ones I have with Dustin for when we have him on as a guest. I'm sure it'll happen at some point. But we got quite a few together.
Yeah, I've got some good stories with Dustin. Oh,
Well, I'm sure you do. You've known him longer than I have.
known him since before kindergarten.
Yep, that's a lot longer
Yep.
than me. Yep. Well, you guys got anything else you can think of?
Depends what direction you want to go.
Decorations.
Yes.
Decorations, yes, we are.
Absolutely.
Well, I think we got two stories we can tell. We can tell the one we can retell the one I told originally about being stalked by an old guy, basically. or I can tell the one about me and was blowing me and my girlfriend at the time up.
Wait, hold on. You never told us that one.
Yeah, just
Ah,
do that one. That one sounds
Yeah,
more
that one
interesting.
sounds
okay.
very interesting.
It's not as interesting as you think, but it's something. So it would be 2.5 years ago now when I was dating my ex. She lived up like 45 minutes away from where I lived,
Mhm.
close to where I'm working now actually.
You?
But I drove a complete shit bucket. I mean, Jordan saw what I was driving. It was an old 2000 Jeep Cherokee with like a 4.8 liter V8 in it. It's a really small V8, but it was rusted to death. The back fender was missing, or not the fender. The tail was missing. It
Sounded
sound
like the Cadillac converter was gone.
it pretty much
It was
was.
loud.
It was a car I bought for $500. It was a complete shit car, but it got me to point A to point B, so I couldn't
That's all that
complain too
matters.
much. Yep.
Yeah.
And for a
That's all
first
that matters.
car, I had it for 4 years, and I threw quite a lot of miles on it, so it did good.
500
Uh,
bucks, 4 years. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You
yeah,
definitely got your money's worth.
yeah, I did. But I was driving down to go get her, uh, one night. I think we were just going out to get dinner or something, but she wanted to see me, so I drove down there, and I heard this weird scraping noise, and I was like, oh great, something else is breaking on this fucking piece of shit Jeep, whatever. I don't care at this point. I was like, I'll take care of it whenever I get home. I'll take it to a auto shop or something. But I picked her up. We were on our way to go get dinner, and as we're
Like, I smell
driving,
gas.
close. You're not. You're almost there.
Really?
So as we're driving down the road, car stops right next to us at a stop sign or a stoplight, and he goes, "Hey, hey!" And I roll down my window. I was like, "Yeah, what's up, man?" He goes, "You're scraping on the bottom of your car. Something's loose."
Oh God.
I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Thanks for telling me." So I pull off into a parking lot, and I look underneath the car, and it's a plate. It's one of the protection plates that fell off the bottom of my car. And it
Mhm.
looked like it just got rusted out, basically. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I'll yank it off. So it took me a couple minutes to finish, getting it all out. But I eventually pulled it off, and I looked to see what it was attached to. It was attached to the underside of my gas tank,
Uh,
and it was sparking, going down the road.
I
So at
mean,
any
FBI.
second, one of those sparks would have popped up in that gas tank and blown up.
oh well.
Yeah, I
It
think
would
you'd
have.
be fine.
Maybe, yeah.
You'll be alright.
I have a similar-ish story to that. It wasn't my car. It was a car I was looking at. It was when I was looking for a first car, and there was a Chevy Cobalt. And it was like a 2000, I don't know, like 12 maybe. It
No,
was
that's
semi-nice.
that's not
I was
nicer than
like,
when I was driving.
yeah, I was like, that's not bad. I was like, I'll look at it, and it was like 6,000, so it was a little bit out of my price range because I was in like the 2 to 5,000 range. So then we go to look at it, my dad and I, and we're looking all around it. My dad has literally bought more cars than how old I am, and I'm 21. He's literally had more cars, and it's not an exaggeration. I think he's literally, we did a math. He's had like 24 cars.
Sounds like your dad's got problem.
He just, I don't know, maybe
Is
more
he one
than
of those
likely.
people that says, "Yeah, I'm gonna fix this up and resell it," and then
No,
never did?
no, he doesn't fix cars. He just buys them. And when he was younger, he went through a lot because he'd buy like a $200 car, and then it would die, and then he'd get a new car, and then that one was a little bit better, but then it died. Anyway, that's a different story.
That was the plan with
But
my car.
so he's really good at finding out what's wrong with cars, right? So we get there and we're in the parking lot. We turn it on. We're looking around. We don't see anything wrong with it. And then as soon as we open up the car door, my dad goes, he goes, "You smell gas?" And I was like, "Kinda." I go, "But it's just like very faint." He goes, he's like, "All right, just keep that into consideration." I was like, "Okay." So then we asked the guy, "Hey, mind if we drive it?" He's like, "Sure, go for it." So we drive it. We drove it for 10 minutes, probably like 5 miles. And then as we're pulling it back in, it's on like white concrete, white cement that we pulled onto. All we see is this long trail of a liquid. And then once we stop and got out, we're like, that's gas. And no joke, at the light before we turned to pull the car back in, there was a woman in front of us that was smoking, and she flipped a cigarette butt right out the window. And we probably drove within 3 feet of it. And I was like, oh, that's not bad. So that's what I love people who are smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm never coming back to this dealership.
Yeah. So he's like, "Do you guys like it?" And my dad goes, "Yeah, except for the fact it was leaking gas."
And
It's like, "Yeah, I guess."
did he still try to talk you into it?
Yeah, he was like, "Well, we'll fix that and then we'll sell it to you." I was like, "I'm not really
No.
interested.
Yeah,
Sorry."
no, I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
There ain't a chance in hell.
Yeah.
Nope. I would have
Jordan,
left the car set where it is and left.
Yup.
do you have any first car stories, Jordan?
Um,
I don't even know what you drove as your first car.
so, as my first car, it was a graduation present, more or less. So I got it at my senior year, probably about, I don't know, a quarter way through my senior year. They're like, all right, here you go. It's gonna be a graduation present from my aunt and uncle. I got a 2002 Ford Expedition. So it wasn't horrible. It wasn't like an XL or anything. It was just a normal sized one. Um, it definitely was not in the best of shape. It definitely had a lot of work that ended up needing done to it. The heat didn't even fucking work. Um, every time you turned it on, it like blew cold air at your face. Even in like the summertime, you know, you'd expect the fucking hot air outside to come out. No, it still just blew like cool air at you. It wouldn't blow cold air though. Like when you turn the AC on, it wouldn't work like that.
It was just like a
fucking-
normal fan.
Yeah, it was just like the fan blowing, but it still was cool, so it was weird.
See, at least you had that going for you. I didn't have any AC or heat in my old Jeep. And that was when I used to work down in the garden center at my old job. So when on, it was a 98-degree day, my car would sit out in the sun for 8 hours. I get off work in a
120
garden
in there.
center in the 120-degree heat and go into my car. That's 120 degrees. I'm like, man,
Uh-huh.
I can't catch a break, can I?
Yeah, but then when you roll down the window and it's 98, you're like, this feels nice.
So that used to be the case until my window broke, and then my window stopped
Oh.
working.
I would just break the window. I'm not dealing with that. Or
That-
take off the doors like a real Jeep.
Like a real. Yeah.
See, my windows worked, but my driver's side door panel was actually gone. So there were wires and stuff there.
Oh, okay.
And some of them were actually stripped down to the point where, like, they were live too. So if I touched them, I'd fucking shock myself. And it did not feel great at all. I mean, every time you would like go to turn the turn signal on or something, every now and again I'd like see a spark come out of the door. I'm like, oh, cool. So
Well, it's gotta be 12 volts then, obviously, right?
no, probably 24 or so.
Couldn't you just like tape it? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Ever
could
heard
have
of
taped
electrical
the
tape?
whole door panel on, and like hid the
Well,
wires
you-
back there.
Not even
No.
that. You could have just made sure they were like, if they're connected, connect them with tape. If not, cap them or something.
Yeah, no,
Right.
so I mean, this door was like fully metal, and I was gonna tape it to like the actual frame of the inside of the door, but like there were so many spots that were stripped on it, I probably would have went through like a whole roll of tape just to fix a couple wires in
You
my
just had
door.
to make sure everyone who got in your car was wearing rubber.
Yeah, basically. No, I mean it was 24 volts, so it was all right.
I mean,
Yeah, 24
it-
volts feels
yeah,
great.
no
Yeah,
problem.
That's nothing.
Don't be a
And me-
bitch.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
for my electricians out there, they understand. 24 volts ain't nothing. You fucking shock yourself, it's whatever. It's the amps that matters.
Yeah, I mean that's fair enough, but yeah,
You could have fucking 140 volts, 120 volts all fucking day long and touch it and it's fine.
yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of miss my first car. The one I'm
first
driving
car
now
is
is
nice.
much nicer, but like, I miss being able to beat up on it without having to like worry, like, oh god, is this gonna break? Because back then, if it broke, I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll just go find a new car. Because it's
Yeah.
a piece of shit. I don't care. I don't care.
Had more problems with my current vehicle than my first vehicle.
I
Well,
have more
that,
problems with people on the road than anything.
yeah, yeah. Let me tell you, now that I'm delivering parts and driving around a lot more, uh, it's scary, dude. Some of the shit I see is
People are annoying.
yes, they're annoying and they just don't drive safe at all, and like I don't know. I
Oh,
can't-
and just to go back onto the Cobalt story real quick, because I just remembered, the most annoying thing wasn't even that the gas was leaking. It was that the turn signal, when you turn the wheel, didn't go back. So you had to manually do it, which
I would
doesn't
forget.
sound like that big of a deal, but it's the most annoying thing in the
Until
world.
you forget and somebody thinks you're turning for like 8
Well, it's not
miles.
even that. It's just the noise bothered me. I didn't care about people. I hate people. It was when I was driving and I'd turn and then turn my wheel and then straighten it back out, and it's like, I'm like, what the? Shut up! And then, that was annoying.
Yeah, I just always have my music loud enough to where I don't hear that.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the fix to all car problems. You just turn your radio all the
True.
way up and you can't hear anything.
That was me when my tire pressure gauge came on the other day. I just turned it up
Ding!
until I was driving on the sidewalk. I was like, okay,
Did
maybe
yours
now I should go get it
continuously
checked. Yeah,
Oh, that's annoying. Mine
every couple
doesn't.
miles
just
it does.
flashes.
Yeah,
It
mine just
flashes and it dings.
Mine just-
Yeah, that's how I knew the other morning when I was driving into work. It turned back on again. I heard it. Most of the time in the morning, I don't have it. Oh, my music cranked up too loud 'cause I'm still waking up.
I don't even play music. So I music in the morning. I just randomly stopped, and now I don't do it at all.
You don't listen to anything in the morning?
Not in the morning. Nope. I just drive silently, and you know what? Until you said something, I didn't even think about it. For the last 6 months, I've done it without music and just haven't even thought about it.
I can't.
Unless I'm like a song stuck in my head, and then I'll get into the car and then turn it on and do it. But yeah, I don't even play music. On the way home, though, I do.
Oh yeah.
rocking out to Justin Bieber because it's stuck
Yeah.
in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Is there any good songs you guys have been stuck playing on repeat recently? Because I have a couple.
Second Chance, Shine Down. Just because he brought up the concert, I've been listening to him nonstop. And
Yeah, man, I
it
kind
makes
of
me
wish
mad
I
that we
went.
couldn't go. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have took AJ up on his offer. I didn't want to. I don't know. I should have.
Next time Fall Out Boy does a tour, I'm definitely.
One of these days, all three of us need to go to like Chicago and go to like either some type of sporting thing or like a concert or something. Just hang out for a weekend. I don't know if you guys could leave your girlfriends for that long, but something we should do.
Ben's like, I'm single, and this is the only perk. I don't have to ask.
Yeah.
They both would probably try and make some family friendly thing and try and come or something.
Right.
Well, I know it's a little hard for you, Jordan, because you have the kid, but
Yeah.
I have a cat. You kidding me?
but it's not the
Can't
same.
leave
But
that.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
And I have dogs.
a cat you could leave, a kitten you can't. There's a difference.
True.
There is a difference.
Here's enough food to last you the week.
Dude, he eats so much freaking food.
Just open the bag, let it fucking eat it right out of the bag.
But
Eat
I've been
whatever you
listening.
need to.
I've been listening to so much AJR. It's unreal.
No, thank you.
Yeah, they're so good, dude. Underrated, my opinion.
See, Jordan and I
But-
have the same music taste.
I know.
Austin's, I think, is completely different.
I listen to random things. I've been listening to AJR, and then I mean, it's supposed to have a new Juice World album, but they postponed it till the end of the month or end of the year. So
I only listen to one or two Juice World songs. I don't listen to.
yeah,
a
I
lot.
hate you.
I'm
No, G World is so good.
I mean, I know every single song, every
Honestly,
single feature.
I'm
Yeah.
sure
And
I would
then
like a
once
lot
he
more.
passed, I transitioned right to Kid Laroi. I know every single song, every single feature.
A lot of the
And then, I
new-
follow Logic and Eminem pretty close. But then now I've just supposed to listen to like AJR, got back into 21 Pilots, stuff like that.
Yeah, you listen to a
Sounds
lot of
to me
white
like-
girl music.
White girl music.
Yeah,
white girl music.
Who out of all those groups is white girl music?
well, I don't.
Exactly.
It just sounds like it. I don't know.
You sound like white girl music.
Oh, most of that's like depressed emo kid music, if
Right.
anything.
Jordan, you have no room to talk about depressed emo kid music. Neither one of us do.
Yeah, that's fair. But
Your,
still,
your playlist is literally like punk emo music.
Mhm.
90% of it, yes.
I
I think we
know.
listened to like 3 Fall Out Boy songs just when he helped me move today.
Yep.
A few things.
Fall Out Boy's barely emo anymore.
True.
Unless it's like like the older ones.
It was older. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's-
mid 2010, I think.
Yeah, but either way, they're more like punk rock, if anything.
No, who changed? I'm really not into their music anymore. Is Imagine Dragons. They kind of changed their flow, and I'm not super fond of it. I listened to the new album, didn't really like it.
See,
I haven't
some of
listened to
it,
the brand new one.
yeah, I haven't listened to the newest one, but
it's
some of
alright.
their newer music's still alright.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know, they're not like.
every time I listen to Imagine Dragons, I go back to like my sophomore and middle school days. In high school, that's all that anyone ever played.
Right.
Yeah. We used to have an aux cord plugged into the speakers in our gym, so anytime we had like gym class or anything like that, someone would plug in their phone and play music throughout it.
Bumping some Miley Cyrus while you're doing the mile.
Miley Cyrus was one of them because Wrecking Ball was really huge at the time,
I hate that
and
song.
there was a lot of Imagine Dragons and 21 Pilots There's a little bit of Jason Derulo. What was the other big one? Justin Bieber and what was it? Oh, what was it called? It was, I think Fall Out Boy. I think Fall Out Boy had, yeah, Uma Thurman. That Fall Out Boy song that everyone
Yeah, I love
got
Fall Out
addicted
Boy,
to.
but I think I'm more of a Panic at the Disco fan more.
Um, I like
Every
both.
single album is fantastic.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been listening to a lot of like harder rock metal stuff
I
lately.
don't like that stuff.
You
Do
don't?
not
Yeah,
like it.
I
No.
did go to a Panic at the Disco concert just not that long ago. I mean, it was probably a year or so ago now. And yeah. Oh, okay, 2. I'm sorry. 2 years ago. 2
Yeah.
years ago.
Don't disrespect her.
And she gave me like a glare, like, really, bro?
I figured that.
Really, bro?
I haven't been to a concert yet. That's the one thing I haven't done.
I haven't either, but
I want
he's
to.
great, dude. Brendan Urie's great.
Yes. If you ever see this, Brandon Urie, I'd let you eat my ass.
Wow. That's high praise coming from Jordan.
Yeah.
He keeps that shit clean, let me tell
That's
you.
high hopes. Get it?
Fucking kill yourself.
I don't get it. I'm kidding, I get it. Yeah.
Double fucking kill yourself.
Yeah, I've been listening. Or, do you guys remember? It's an older, like early 2000 songs. It was Rob Thomas and Santana. Do you remember that collab they did?
Yeah, like
Nope.
I do.
It's called Smooth.
Smooth brain.
Smooth, bro.
I
I promise if you listen to it, I promise you would know what I'm talking about.
feel like
It's-
hold on.
Just look it up real quick, listen to it, because I know you're gonna know the song. It's if you haven't if it's not overheard in your brain by now, like they literally play in like grocery stores and shit. Like it's so overplayed. They just recently did a new song called Move. That's really good. I've been bumping that pretty nonstop the last like week. Austin, I can't tell by that look if you're listening to it or not.
I am. Yeah, I've heard it.
Yeah, I mean it's hard not to hear that song. It's got so many
Yeah.
plays.
It's a good song.
I listen. Okay, here's a quick story time for you. In my first computer class, we were told we were allowed to listen to music. So I went to plug in my earphones, and that was the song I decided to play at the time.
And
Uh,
you didn't have it plugged in all the way.
No, I had it plugged in all the way. It was just in the microphone slot instead of the headphone slot. So as
And you
soon
started
as
playing porn.
no, I played the Smooth song I was just talking about, but as soon as I pressed play, it didn't sound right in my ears. I'm like, huh, that's weird. Okay, let me turn it up a little bit. And I turned it up a little bit, and
I had
I
that obnoxious turn up noise. He was like,
yep,
I turned it all the way up.
I turned it up, and I looked over to my right, and the kid next to me was just staring at me. And I suddenly turned around, and everybody was staring at me. I took out my earphones. And I'm like, oh, this isn't playing in my earphones. This would be why. And, yep,
Hilarious.
yep. I got really embarrassed. Funnily
Teacher came
enough,
over and smacked you.
no. Funnily enough, I went on to help teach that teacher most of that class because I was
You do
very
look
very
like a
good at it.
Student aid.
Yep.
Joke's on you guys. I got to go on the senior trip as a sophomore because I helped her in that class. I went to
Ooh,
Navy.
aren't you so
I-
special?
I-
I fucking skipped my senior year and didn't go to school like at all.
Why don't you kiss a little more ass, Ben?
I mean, no thanks. I mean, maybe at this point I'm kind of desperate. You know, it's been a
Whoa.
minute.
Well, calm
okay.
down.
No, on that note, I think it's time to wrap it up.
Do you really want to wrap it up? It's only been an hour.
Only been an hour?
Yeah. Do you want to go an hour and a half?
No.
I mean, I got the one story that I could retell from the first time we tried doing this.
I want to make sure you have the audio working before I go for another half hour.
Yep. I say we
I already-
save this for the
I
next
already
episode,
made sure to show you guys
which
that
would
the
be
audio
the
is
third
working.
episode, since you don't know how to do audio.
Listen, if it doesn't work this time, I'm just gonna upload us talking with our faces onto the YouTube and
would.
call it good.
Yeah.
See if
Yeah.
we can get
I
any
think the
sponsors.
title for this episode needs to be the first second podcast.
Yes.
The
First,
se-
second episode.
The first episode or something stupid like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
1.5 episodes.
The first and a half.
First
Yeah.
episode, take 2.
Yeah, we'll figure out what the name is. But do you guys actually want to wrap it up here then?
I wouldn't mind that.
I'm good
Okay.
too.
Okay, that's fine. Well, that I guess concludes the first episode of the Sausage Fest podcast. Let us know what you guys think, if we need to change anything, if the audio is fucked up. You're never gonna
Could've
see
been.
this,
He's
but if it's
annoying.
not, make sure you give us a little like, subscribe, comment, download on Spotify, all that good shit that everyone says to do. It's gonna be up on YouTube and Spotify, so you can check us out both on there. You guys got any personal plugs you want to throw out? Twitch, Twitter?
No, I'm not gonna throw any of that out there right now, but just to let you guys know, we are open to suggestions if there's any stories you guys want to ever hear, or some co-hosts of people that we do talk about. Most of those people are willing, so
Well, we're
That'd be dope.
assuming. Yeah, we're assuming most of them are willing. We haven't asked yet. but-
most of them are. Yeah, I guarantee.
Yeah, we're
I'm sorry.
we have a pretty broad friend group, so if any one name or one person stuck out at
They
you guys,
range in sexual preference too,
They-
so you really get some diversity in there.
I wonder how many people are. You know what? I'm not even gonna bother
Yeah.
asking that.
We'll figure it out later.
Yeah, well. Anyway, like, subscribe, comment. I have a Twitter if you want to check mine out. It's at ThatBoyMental, and I also have a Twitch at ThatBoyMental. Austin, you got anything else you want to add?
I mean, follow me on Instagram at Groner the Stud. Easy. That's
That's about
about
it.
it.
Yeah. All right. With that being said, we haven't figured out the schedule quite yet, but we will definitely either post something on my Twitter or on our YouTube as soon as we figure that out. It's just kind of hectic with all of us having, our own lives, and the three of us trying to connect sometimes gets a little difficult. But,
Some people not knowing how to record audio.
well, that too. Hopefully you guys will
Would have
see
been
this.
up like a week ago, but
We recorded it like 3 days ago. What do you mean?
yeah, it was Wednesday, I think.
Right, and it's a Saturday night, so it was like, what, 4 days ago then? Whatever.
It haunts me.
Close enough to a week.
Close enough. Yeah, close enough. All right. Anyway, I guess we'll wrap it up there. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Deuces. Have a good night.
Peace.